Hello guys! So today I'm going to be showing you a really cool trick on how to fit all of your dragons into your park without having to do what I've done here. So as you can see, I've kind of just crammed just as many habitats as I can filled with dragons just to make sure that I can actually fit them all in here as I'm working on my dragonarium to fill it up. But I still have about 200 more dragons to go, and I've already kind of filled all of my islands with different things. So I could just go into the market and buy more islands, but the problem is they start getting extremely expensive, and I don't exactly want to spend the money just to get the islands. Now, another easy way to get them up is to buy some of the giant habitats. So, for instance, if we look at the giant fire habitat, it can hold up to 5 dragons for 25 gems, which I know a lot of people like to buy these, which honestly, from what I've seen and done some research on, it's kind of pointless to actually buy these, and I'll show you exactly why here. So using the Hibernation Cave, this is probably the best tool to fit all of your dragons into your park. So as you can see, I've maxed mine out at 25 dragons in here. I kind of just have a bunch of random dragons in here that I haven't actually put anywhere. And instead of building habitats for them all like I've done here, you can just cram them into the Hibernation Cave. Now if I look at my habitats, I've just about used up all of my total habitats, so I'm running out. So if I ever want to put more treasure dragons, for instance, I can't. Now what you're going to want to do is simply upgrade your Hibernation Cave instead. So although it's 50 gems, you may say, well, it might be better just getting 2 giant habitats. But 2 giant habitats will hold 5 dragons apiece, equaling out to 10 dragons. Where when you upgrade your Hibernation Cave, it takes it from that 25 to 50 dragons. So you just gained an extra space to put 25 dragons instead of just the 10 that you would for the 2 habitats. Now, the equivalence of upgrading them keeps going up. So now you see if I upgrade it again, it's going to cost 100 gems. But if I were to do this upgrade, I would gain 50 more gems. So basically every 2 gems that you invest into your Hibernation Cave, you get 1 more dragon slide, which is much more efficient than simply buying the giant habitats. So this is probably the best way to do it, especially because it saves you all of the space of putting all of your dragons in here. So now really quickly, I'm going to start cramming a bunch of these dragons back into my Hibernation Cave, and we'll see where we can go from there after I upgrade it one more time. So you can see, if I go from 50 dragons available, and I upgrade it with these 100 gems, it goes up to 100 dragons. So now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these habitats and cram all these dragons back in there. So anyway, there you have it. I cleaned up my island quite a bit. You can see all of my dragons stored in here now. I went from 25 to 68, so I had about 40 dragons on this island by themselves, which I still have all of these to do to clear out all that extra space. And I also have a couple habitats here, a couple here, and a couple up here. Now, I'm not going to do them all at once because now that I got rid of all those habitats, I have a lot more available. I have 12 habitats that I can place still, and I have a lot of space that I can put them now without having to buy more islands, so there's no real need to go ahead and start moving them all over. So I went ahead and did this, so now, for instance, as I begin to hatch some really good dragons, I begin to put them in some of their habitats by themselves. Doing so helps me to actually be able to make more money, which I can buy treats with, and I can just kind of go from there. Now I had to keep a couple of these habitats just because of some of the dragons. Obviously he is in breeding right now, and then this dragon I use for the tournaments on the Coliseum. But overall, it's a really good way to kind of cram some of your dragons down, since you really don't need all these dragons. While they do make a little bit of money for you, they're not going to earn enough to make a big difference. And overall, you're going to be much better breeding some rarer dragons that are going to make a lot more money like these, and using them in habitats instead of simply having a fire habitat that maxes out at 1,000, 5,000 cash. This way you can make a lot more money and you don't have to be as active on the game. So overall, this is pretty much what I would recommend that you do. Still have a lot to go to condense all of my dragons down, but overall this is helping. So you don't need to do this for all of your dragons, but I would recommend just doing it a little bit, because it can really help out kind of condensing your island. And if you ever need to pull some of these back out, remember you can just kind of filter them out, find exactly what dragon that you need, and then pull them out and do whatever you need with them. So I would recommend just keeping a couple small habitats of the basic dragons. Like for instance, I'll keep one for this guy for my cold dragon, and a couple other just kind of random dragons that I want to have out in my park. But overall, this lets me keep all of the dragons that I need for my park, all 151 unique ones, but it allows me to save the space so I don't have to have them everywhere. So I can really pick and choose which dragons I want to show in my park and which ones I don't want to, which is really cool. And you may be saying that this takes a lot of gems to do because I just use like 150 gems to do this. But I have a couple guides up, so if you want to check some videos out, I'll have some links on the screen. I'll also have some links in the description for some videos to help you get a lot more gems every day that you play. But other than that, that's basically this tutorial. I hope it helped. Make sure you leave a like on the video, helps me out as well. And stay tuned for some more tutorials. And I'll see you next time.